When the wig is bad, you are not long for Westeros, people. I am happy to be back with an episode recap review of House of the Dragon Season 2, episode Son for a Son. It was great to finally be back in Winterfell and getting to learn more about the traditions of the North. Now, who knew the men of Winterfell had a Hunger Game-esque lottery system based on who's going to the Night's Watch before winter? Now, I understand the tradition of sending men to the Night's Watch before winter so they're not there just sucking up resources. But at the end of the day, I would just send the older folks there. You need those young men just in case war does break out. And you're risking sending too many of them up to the wall right before winter. Because winter's going to be over at some time, people. But also, unfortunately, we never got to see Lord Cregan Stark and Prince Jacaerys Velaryon at Winterfell as we see them on the wall. And Cregan Stark has to remind the prince, hey, we fighting demons out here, baby, of the ice priority, so we can't send all our men south, but he did promise 2,000 gray-bearded men. It got your boy wondering, has Rhaenyra told all about Aegon's prophecy and dream about all that ice and fire? Back down in Dragonstone, we see Meleys, the Red Queen herself, beautiful dragon, coming down with Princess Rhaenys, touching base back in Dragonstone after patrolling most of the gullet. She said hundreds of miles by herself up in the air, making sure the blockade holds. Daemon Inconsiderate Self comes up to her and says, hey, come with me. We can storm King's Landing and beat Vhagar, just the two of us. And she like, no, you are not my king. You don't rule us, bro. And he's complaining about Rhaenyra because she's out trying to find her son just to confirm for herself that her son is deceased. But he is overreaching. I feel like this whole episode really makes us look and think Daemon would not have been a good king. He's too reactionary. He wants to win everything right now, and it is showing. And the queen that never was realized that and leave that man on red. Now, there's still plenty of the story to tell, but I love when Corlys goes down to the shipyard and sees his badly battered personal ship and all his men trying to prepare it, get it ready for war, and he sees one of the people on the crew named Alan, and Alan was the one that saved this man, and even mentions his brother. The fact that Alan risked his life to save Lord Corlys, it makes me feel like he's really invested in making sure that man's okay. A special bond. A bond so close you can almost call them, nah, not right now, not right now. Back at King's Landing though, we have the evil twin of the King's Guard back at the Red Keep looking to the sky and they see a big old dragon coming. You know, I be freaking out. They all get their scorpion boats ready, but it's like, damn, we got scorpion boats. But that motherfucker got flames coming down from the sky. Lucky for them, it was Vhagar. But I noticed something, people. On the walls of the Red Keep, there were a lot of men with that high tower green on. This is starting to feel like a true infestation of Old Town has made its way into this capital city. Maybe we do need Daemon Targaryen to purge the walls of the Red Keep. And the lovely sweet Helena's just in there knitting and Aegon comes in storming about looking for his son. Boy, you better look after your daughter because he goes to her and pulls his hand back when he realizes that's not his baby boy. I did not appreciate that, and that goes to this world not valuing women, and you know, it just get to me. He like, boy, I don't need her. I'm gonna go look for my son, and Helena start looking at everyone going, hey, you know these rats in the wall? And she was right. She been saying these rats in the wall all this time, but we ain't there yet. We ain't there yet. But can we all say Helena was right? Can we just all say that? Criston Cole is a wild man. I don't even know if he wiped off his chin when he left the room. He a eater. He a solid eater. I was looking at that man and I was like, damn, calm down. But apparently Alicent and him are a thing and he is forever now Sir Crispy. Now he might be Sir Lispy. We see the Greens in their first War Council meeting, at least for us. And Aegon's not taking it serious. Otto's over there undermining everything Alicent's saying. And then Aemon and One Eye walk into the room and say, who ready to start a little more war, people? But that's the problem. Aegon isn't taking this serious. He's vibing. He thinks they're gonna win on easy mode. There is nothing easy about war and he needs to realize that. The members of the small council are trying to keep it together, but these Targaryen brothers of the Hightower line, they moving different. Because Aegon second of his name may be a father, maybe a husband, maybe the protector of the realm, but he ain't nothing but a frat boy with all his friends. And he does not understand what it's gonna cost for this war, as evident when we see him in the throne room trying to delegate to the people who request, all that kingly stuff. Otto has to keep going to him and like, bro, I know you just said this, but you can't use those resources that way. We have to use them this other way. It's the only way that's going to make sense for us to do all this, reconquering the lands and stuff. And one of the men that entered the throne room name was Hugh. Guys, he is important. You pay attention. Hugh. I couldn't think of nothing that rhymed with that, but he him. We look at him. We got to ask ourselves, what does Larys Strong want? What is he trying to accomplish? What is his goal? Do you know? No, me either, but he gets in Aegon's head. Ask him, why is Otto Hightower still your hand? He was the hand for your daddy. He was the hand for your great granddaddy, but he don't need to be yours. And Aegon seems like he's heeding that advice. You probably don't want to heed from Larys. Mysaria the White Worm returns. I feel like they fixed her accent a little bit. She's still trying to do that same one, but it's definitely more understandable. She floats over to Dragonstone on a boat and she meets Daemon. Daemon got her locked up and Daemon is again accusing her now of saying, you messed up. You were with the Hightowers. You could have done something and you didn't, and now look what happened. But she like, bro, I don't work for you. I don't work for them. I was in a transactional relationship with Otto Hightower in terms of he giving money and stuff and doing benefits for me in the city, and I give him certain information. Lucky for all of them, Rhaenyra has finally returned after finding the remains of her son's dragon and some of his clothes. Goes to the head of the painted table and announces she wants Aemon Targaryen, her younger brother, dead. And Daemon took that personal. Gets Mysaria to give him a little bit of information and he goes to King's Landing himself under disguise and we get Hoodie Daemon back at it again. When you see Hoodie Daemon, you know he gonna act up, and acting up he does. Based on the information he got from Mysaria, he goes and finds a member of the Gold Cloak, somebody who's still loyal to him, and gets the best rat catcher at the Red Keep. Tells them both, I got plenty monies for you. I just need you to go in the Red Keep. I want you to find Aemon Targaryen and I want his head. Cool. Plan going. They're going to go do that. They finna go get Aemon. Up in the Red Keep, we got Criston Cole and Aemon going over battle plans. Aemon has this whole strategy he came up with, and it's a good strategy. But when Aemon says something about somebody having two tongues, meaning somebody else talking about someone else, and Criston Cole just looking kind of crazy, I'm like, does he know? Does he know that Criston Cole, Sir Crispy himself, is an eater for his mama? Because that's wild as hell, man. Then his granddaddy come in there, tell Sir Crispy to get out the room. And he like, look, grandson, you got the strongest dragon. You got all the martial prowess. We need you ready, but we need you listening and falling in line. Aemon like, you better fall in line with me. The line star right here, where you at? And we go back and see the two men breaking into the Red Keep, well, using the secret tunnels and passageways that are all throughout it. History will forever know them as Blood and Cheese. And they make it to Prince Aemon's room eventually. They had actually had to pass the king and his friends. And the king was talking mad cash money shizzle about his younger brother Aemon. Saying he's loyal and he ain't gonna do nothing. He gonna fight for me. I'm gonna point him in a direction and let him go. But he should have been looking at the man who eventually killed his own son and heir. Because after Blood and Cheese couldn't find Aemon, they found Helaena. They found their two kids, told Helaena, now which one the boy? Because they identical. Well, they identical because they boy and a girl, but they look so much alike, they couldn't tell them apart. Helaena pointed at her son. Blood didn't believe her at first. He was like, no, she lying. That's the girl. Why would you give up her heir? And then Cheese looked at her and said, nah, she telling the truth. So they go over and they kill the heir. They chopping up that little boy's head. Helaena go running out the room, goes to her mother Alicent's room, who is riding the heck out of Sir Crispy. I mean riding, and tells him that somebody has just killed the heir. It's a wild time, bro. It's a wild time. But please be on the lookout. I'm going to have more videos going thoroughly into some of the characters and their decisions in this episode. Stay tuned. Make sure you follow, and I'm going to see you next time.